Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Kelvin here. For this episode, I've managed to invite the up and coming YouTuber, Demi John, who talks a lot about personal finance, budgeting, and how to save money on traveling.
Hi everyone.
So my first question is, what's up with the 100 plus videos on Trust Card and YouTube Card?
Wow, straight into it. Okay. I gotta give credit when credit is due. This was actually introduced to me by my brother. So prior to even using Trust Card, right, I was using YouTrip for my travels mostly.
Okay.
And it's really good. I mean, the rates itself, you get really good rates as compared to Google itself. So when my brother told me about Trust, I decided to give it a try during my whole travel series previously. And then the rates were as good as YouTrip.
Yeah.
So it was not sponsored at all. I just decided to use them because one, it's a credit card. You can only pay when the statement is due. And it's even better than YouTrip because you don't have to top up your wallet. So right now I'm using both of it together. And if it's good, why not just share it with the audience? So I decided to, just
make tons of video, monetize it.
Oh, monetize, they don't pay me though.
But why not like Instagram or this kind of thing?
Okay, I personally feel Instagram is very, like you have to link it to a credit card.
Yes.
And then there's also the spread, like you talk about on your channel.
Then you minus off the rewards.
But at the end of the day, I think to me, I'm not the one going after miles previously. Previously. But I think after I've seen your videos talking about Instagram minusing away all the spread and everything, it's still relatively good for someone who's going after miles. Yeah. So, but to me, I think I will still stick to Trust and YouTube.
So that was the first question. But can you share a bit more about yourself? How did you started on this whole YouTube journey?
Okay, I'm 27 this year. I started YouTube in April 2022. So even though my YouTube channel was created in November 2021, I only actually started doing personal finance content in April 2022. So prior to that, I was actually making vlog content.
Let's go CSI.
But I took it down, and then after that, I decided that, since I was on a journey to aggressively save towards the traveling portion of the last year of 2022, I decided to just document it. Then I realized that actually personal finance content is something that I really enjoy creating. So
quite fun.
Yeah.
So it's only been like 1.5 years.
Only 1.5 years. Yes.
How's the journey so far? You find it fun lah? Is it very hard work?
Okay, I think it's ups and downs. There's a lot of as you do content online, you put yourself out there, there are definitely negative comments that will come.
You mean there's negative comments about you now?
Here and there, people will say, yeah, you do receive comments. I do see it. But it's not a lot. It's just a handful of them. But at the end of the day, I think when you get the feedback that it has helped someone out there, that it really spurs you forward to, continue creating the content.
Correct. Same for me. So the feedback helps. The thank you helps.
Yes, the thank you helps. So whenever you all leave a comment, it really helps us as creators also.
I think even the bad comments helps also. Some of it I find it quite funny lah.
Is it? I've seen other financial influencers YouTube channels. I do read their comments also. Sometimes it's a bit sad lah.
A bit sad?
Yeah, a bit.
Nothing to be sad. Ever since you started on this journey, right, has anyone recognized you on the streets? You mentioned there was one guy, right?
Once, correct. Yeah. I think my reaction, I was a bit stunned because I was with my colleagues also. We were having bonding activity. And someone said, "Are you Demi?" Then I wasn't expecting it, or I wasn't prepared also. So when he asked, then I was like, yes. then the conversation just ended there. So I'm sorry to the one person who actually recognized me. My heart wasn't as prepared.
That was the same for me. Like back then, the guy was wearing mask and like Kelvin. I like who? So I like yeah, I'm a viewer. So after that, I like okay yeah.
Nowadays, is there more?
Nowadays a lot. It's like every time I go out, it's like, hey Kelvin. Every time it's quite awkward. Like I don't know how to react. Like hi. I try to make a small talk lah nowadays. Yeah. Thank you for your support. Why are you here? This kind of thing lah.
Yeah, but if you all see us on the streets, come say hi. We're all very friendly people.
Has your boss watched your YouTube? Does he know it even exists?
No, they do not know about my YouTube channel. So all along, I think I didn't think that I needed to share because I was doing it out of my own free time.
Okay.
So it's either before work, like yourself, you wake up very early at 4:30, right? So I also usually wake up at like 5.
Okay.
that kind of timing. Yeah. So I do it before work and also after work. And then usually my filming days are on Sundays. So Sunday is my full entire dedicated day for YouTube.
Wow, hardworking
Yeah. So until a bit of a news is that I think you all will see on my channel also, but I've left my job. So yeah, but newfound freedom, I didn't see the need to share it with them at the end of the day. Yeah.
Quick pause. Did you know that Weeboo currently lets you earn up to 5.2% on your idle funds? To use it, tap on Market, Moneyboo, where you get to choose between parking your money in 2 low-risk money market funds to earn a daily return. It's free to use. The money is very liquid as you get to immediately use the funds to invest whenever you want. Plus, you are able to withdraw your money in just a few days. So, that's nice. With Weeboo's latest sign-up promotion, if you fund your account with $300 or more, you will get the chance to win either one free Tesla share worth $580 or trading vouchers worth $280 or $180 or $80 or one fractional Tesla share worth $58. And the best part, you don't have to make any trades to qualify for these gifts. So if you have not signed up to Weeboo yet, you can sign up using my link down below. With that being said, let's get back to the video.
In one of your recent videos, where you talk about how you save 100k by 27 years old, hashtag humble brag. no, humble brag. You mentioned that you were working part-time at Ippudo Ramen till late at night. While you were studying, what was the motivation to work that hard back then? Right? Because obviously you didn't need to have that kind of money back then. And yet you go and take on this part-time job, which I can imagine is quite hard. What made you to want to do it?
I think since I was younger, I did share on my channel also, like during my budgeting videos, I do mention that most of the time I don't want to burden my parents with the things that I want. So a lot of times I do receive an allowance from them, yes, for my day-to-day food and everything. But I think above and beyond that, I also wanted to save more. It's nice to have a sum of money set aside. And I did mention also I invested into bonds when I was younger. So I was thinking, if you have more, then you can invest more and then you get some interest. So I was used to receiving interest.
Wow.
That kind of thing. So that kind of motivated me in a way. And I had quite a bit of a spare time also. So I'm not the A-star student at university, but during those spare times when I can, I will go and work, earn an extra income, decide how I want to spend that amount of money. So I was pretty independent growing up.
But what even made you want to work? Like for me, in my uni free time, I was actually playing games.
Okay, maybe.
But how did that working thought came into your mind at all?
I think I was very used to it. So ever since graduating from O levels, I already started working. So the first one I was at UOB doing admin work.
Whoa, okay.
Then going into diploma, then I started working at Catapult. I don't know if y'all will know about this, but this is more like a trampoline park. So I was an instructor over there. Then after that, it was mostly F&B. So I juggled between all of these part-time jobs, paying like $7 an hour.
So you use all those money to invest into bonds, and you mentioned the bonds was because your father taught you about it.
Correct.
Imagine if you had bought it into crypto back then.
Wow. Imagine the fortune now.
So last year, you traveled to Taiwan, Korea for 6 months.
Correct.
While having a full-time job. How is it even possible to travel for that long?
Okay, a little bit of a backstory was that when I started the YouTube channel, the aggressive savings, I did mention that I wanted to bring my mom overseas for a period of time. Because my mom fell in 2021, it kind of struck a chord in me that I wanted to bring her to enjoy the things that she loved. So I decided to actually quit my job back then. So I told my boss that I wanted to leave because I wanted to bring my mom overseas to, travel while she's still young, she's still able to walk. And that somehow sparked the negotiation of remote working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I remote work while traveling with her. But I would say that lifestyle is not for everyone, I would say. A lot of times it's more like I need to work, wake up at 4:30, work, then enjoy the day. Then after that, go back to the hotel and then work again. I would say if you ask me, remote working is something that I want to, I don't think so.
Quite shit, right? It's like traveling but without the travel part.
Correct. So it's very tiring, not as enjoyable as you think it would be. So that's how they actually allowed me to go and travel, but while still working with them.
Basically, just working from home, but the home is overseas.
Correct. Yes. So I'm in a very thankful situation. The whole thing played out very nicely. So
Okay.
it's very nice of them to allow me to do that also.
Then after that, you just fire your boss.
I never fired. I guess in career, a lot of people, we all progress.
Yeah, correct.
There's no like one company that you'll stay for the next 20, 30 years. That's like the older generation thingy. But these days, nowadays, the younger generation will stay a few years, they will jump. Most of the people do like career progression just to jump another pay rank, another pay tier.
Actually, it's quite interesting that you realized this very early on. Like I didn't know that. Okay, I knew that, but I didn't factor that in that I could leave the company. Because back then when I was working at this job, right, my priority is loyalty, is to grow the company, and leaving wasn't even part of it until the company closed down on me.
Okay, maybe because to me, right, career progression isn't that important to me. I did also mention that I don't want to be working for someone for the rest of my life.
Oh.
So I don't want to just run the rat race of life.
Okay.
So work 9 to 6, go home, rest, then next day repeat, rinse and
Okay.
repeat for Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Then only enjoy your weekends. I don't think that is cut out for me. So realizing that, I think that's when I also realized that I wanted to start a side hustle that will earn me passive income.
Okay.
That sparked my entire journey. Even when I was younger, I did try and monetize on different things. So before YouTube, I wrote a blog.
Let's go serious.
But I took that down already.
Oh, no, okay.
So it's more of like reviews on destinations, food places, but that didn't turn out
Okay.
well. Then after that, I just go through the rat race, find a full-time job, and 3 years in after COVID, made us think a lot at home.
Yeah.
That made me really wanted to find something that I could use or like do as a side hustle to earn me passive income also.
Were all your previous endeavors like blogs? You mentioned there was a previous vlogging style, right? Did they all take off?
No.
It's
No,
only this YouTube thing,
yes. So I think a lot of times they say as entrepreneurs you need to try and then fail and then learn from it, and then who knows, one day something that you try will
That's
actually
quite
work out.
true. Like ever since I graduated, how long? A long time ago. I forgot. I lost count. I was actually doing a new thing every other year, and I was
Wow.
failing all the way until this
Wow.
YouTube thing. So I guess luck. You have to put in the hard work. Then after that, the luck comes into play, lah.
Correct.
Yeah. But how do you realize that you did not want to work forever? Because again, this is not a typical mindset of especially like Singaporeans. Because like when Singaporeans, they are basically like packaged to become a good worker since young. You go through this phase where the teacher tells you to work hard. You go through this uni where your mother has to tell you to study hard. And the product is a good worker, right? But for you, it's like you deviated from this whole path.
Okay, I think mainly I got to give credit to my dad. So he's a self-employed person. He does a lot of exploring into different businesses also. So at the start, he sold electronic gadgets, etc. Then after that, he also on the side does investing. Then now he does property. So he owns property, then rents it out to people. So I think it's more like seeing how he can lead a lifestyle that is alternative to what Singaporeans usually do, work on 9 to 6. That kind of sparked it. And then during COVID and everything, I watched a lot of content online. A lot of entrepreneurs, how they started. I always loved writing, and that's why I started with a blog first.
Okay.
Then after that, then I decided to explore something different, put myself out here on YouTube. Yeah, I don't have parents who are very pressurizing in terms of like, you need to do well in school, you need to get a good job, be a lawyer, doctor. No.
Probably you are already at the top, so they don't need to tell you that.
No, what? I graduated from private university, FYI.
So you mentioned that with this traveling, right? There was, I believe it was last year's video. You mentioned that with this traveling, you might be sacrificing your whole career progression and this 100K savings goal. But obviously you have already hit it. How do you even hit 100K by 27?
Okay. At a younger age, I already formed good money habits. As I mentioned, like I will save, I will budget, I will not spend on anything that I want to. I won't just pull the trigger to buy things that I want. So it's all of these money habits that slowly build towards like having good savings, a good savings amount at the age of 20-ish, early 20s.
Okay.
I still spend on things that I love, traveling, spend on food with my family, with my friends also. A lot of it, the bulk of the boost actually came from YouTube income. Honestly, to be very honest, it came from YouTube income. So I think only in December 2020, okay, I have a video coming out talking about this also, but in December 2022, the channel got monetized.
Whoa.
Thereafter, the income didn't just come in like that. As you will know, AdSense revenue is peanuts at the start.
Yeah.
Then thereafter, even right now, I only get like $300 a month. So it's a lot of like people who sign up on products that we usually talk about. And I usually only talk about products that I personally do use. So it's like HSBC Revolution, I talk about them. Trustcard, but it's not sponsored. You only get NTUC vouchers. So that is one of the ways also. So it's a lot of this side hustle that actually built it. So, but I would say bulk of it is having good money habits at the start, saving at a younger age, forming a good base. And I don't have a lot of liabilities also. Yeah, I'm not about to start a family. So it's only me that I have to support right now.
Yeah, actually you start this whole thing at a very correct time. Very suitable time. Like because for me, I started around 2020. That was the year my kid was born. Actually, I'm also lucky that I managed to start it before my kid was born. Otherwise, I wouldn't have
the time
to do it, right? And right now, I've already the momentum, the whole base set up already. Then it's a lot easier for me. But for you, there's no liability at all. There's no family, there's no kid, there's no house.
Correct.
So you're basically, your YOLO mode can just do it.
I think, yes, a lot of it is because I'm young, I dare to try. And I don't have liabilities, I don't need to pay for a house, mortgage,
correct.
that kind of thing. That's why I can try. So my mindset is, even if I fail, how bad can it be?
Start another new channel.
Idea. Thank you.
So you were saying that you have built that whole saving mindset since young. But I'm very curious, how did you control yourself not to spend that much money? Obviously, you like eating, like eating and traveling. But what's stopping you from eating more, spending more on eating and I don't know, you say you don't like branded.
My size.
But I mean, you can obviously eat at good restaurants every other day, right? How do you control yourself from doing that? Or does it just come naturally? Like today I feel like eating. Or do you even not control it at all?
Okay. I think now because after COVID, a lot of us don't really eat out as much. Last time before COVID, I used to go out a lot with my family, with my friends to dine at restaurants. So I do spend. But I compensate with the other areas that I don't spend on. So I don't buy electronic goods, I don't buy bags, wallets. Even my outfits are pretty casual. I don't spend a lot on this area, but when I need to spend, I will spend. So the mindset to me, ingrained in me by my family is, when you need to spend, you spend. Things that are important to you, then you know where to like spend and then make up for it in other areas, or don't spend so much on other things.
For me, it's a bit hard. Like I don't really spend much. I make very conscious effort not to spend. Like, okay, I eat Cai Fan, I will look for the cheapest dish once in a while. That was in the past. Nowadays, it's not that bad. Partly because I got married and the whole expenses just shot up like that. And when you have a house, you understand why. With a baby, right? After a while, I realized that, I'm trying to save these few dollars. It doesn't make sense when I'm spending a few $100s on the side. So after a while, I just gave up on saving money. I try to earn more money instead.
Correct.
To compensate for it.
It's a shift of mindset also. Sometimes when I do speak to people, the limiting factor is I only earn this much at my day job. How can I afford the lifestyle here in Singapore or spend on what I want to? I think the only alternative to that is earn more. Grow your earning capacity, your income, passive income, dividends, that kind of thing. I think that's
more about Trustcard.
Talk more about Trustcard. Okay, I will. During my travels coming up.
Maybe you have a partner, maybe you don't have a partner yet. But what do you look for in an ideal partner? What if your partner doesn't like to save?
Well, that's a huge red flag to me though.
Really?
I think
it's a... But he's very handsome, like oppa like that, but he doesn't like to save money.
I think more than looks, I look for values in a person. So if there's a lot of like differing factors, it could actually like shorten the span of the relationship. So instead, like before even starting out, I think I look more for values in a person. How is it aligned? Do we think alike?
Maybe he earns a lot.
But if he just outflow like that every single month, what's the point of earning so much? I think it's a balance. If he wants to spend on things that he enjoys, same like how I do, go for it. But there are other things that we need to work towards also. Yeah.
I think that's the same thing that Chris Honey Money, shout out to him. He said so he said the partner will make or break the whole relationship and your entire future. So that's the important part that you have to choose correctly. Not just the looks, not like don't just choose appa.
Yes.
What would your ideal life be like?
Ideal life? Wow. where I don't have to worry about finances. So I think money is a means to an end. I talk a lot about this also. It's like you need it in order to fulfill certain things. So an ideal life will be, I will just be able to make my family happy. And at the end of the day, be able to live a simple life. So my ideal life, the goal that I have is actually to run my own like bed and breakfast somewhere.
Whoa, okay.
So I have always had this dream to run a bed and breakfast overseas. Like I like to meet new people. And maybe that's why I do the one-to-one calls also. When I meet new people is what grows my thinking. You experience people's walk of life.
Okay,
What they experience, you won't be able to experience, but through the conversations, you get to grow your mindset. Yeah. So that's the ideal lifestyle where I don't have to worry about small things, but you think of it in a bigger picture. How can I add value to the people around me?
But technically, you can already do it now, right? You're already semi-retired.
Oh, no, not semi-retired. Don't have the financial capability to also.
Okay. Because I know of this guy, he went to Malaysia, he started out, he bought this place and he rent it out. So it's an Airbnb. And everyone just meet him, he just meet new people every day. Yeah.
The capital very important, I think.
Yeah, KL is not that expensive. It's expensive, but you just times 3 point something.
3.5. Today I just checked 3.5.
Wow, 3.5.
Ideal life will be being able to control your own time. Time is freedom.
Other than this Airbnb thing, is there like other bucket list of things that you want to do?
As of now, honestly, no. I think I live a pretty like take it as it comes kind of lifestyle. So I do see it in the near future of what I want to do, but I will always take a day as it comes. Yeah. So if you ask me like, want to go and like paraglide, do something exciting, that kind of thing. Last time maybe, but now at the age, cannot.
What you mean? Oh, what you mean? Oh, it's like those 12-year-old kid, right? They say they are a few old. What do you mean?
I lead a pretty simple life. Really. So Monday to Fridays, right? My schedule is more like I don't go out much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
I
sense.
usually just stay at home. Even right now, I'm helping my sister to take care of her newborn. Like Monday to Friday, I don't usually go out also. So I only go out on Saturdays to church. And then after church, I'll hang out with my friends.
Okay.
So my lifestyle is pretty simple. I go to bed by like 10-ish. Among my friends, right, I probably am the youngest, but I feel like I'm the oldest. I sleep very early. I wake up very early.
It's like kampong life leh. Yeah, it's like kampong life. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my lifestyle.
But the reason you are doing that now is because you set this on yourself, right? What's preventing you from doing other things? Since you have already quit your job, you are free to do other things now already, ma.
Okay. Since I've since left my job, yes, but I have other things right now to focus on. So like my sister puts my niece at our place, so I'm helping my mum while she take care of.
Okay.
And then in September, I'm actually flying back to Jeju.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of packed if you were to think about it. Like my schedule is not like empty. So now it's more like in my free time, I do content. I try and think of other ways where I can add value to people.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty packed.
Why are you going back to Jeju?
I actually do, like you remember I mentioned about the whole
Yeah.
Airbnb thing that I want to do,
yeah.
right? I want to explore the possibility of doing it in Jeju. So it's more like one, being accustomed to their culture and their lifestyle there, and being able to speak the language. So now I speak a bit of Korean, but it's not as good. So living there will help me to improve that in one way, and then explore other different things. Because I met a pretty nice couple, uncle and auntie that I stay at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
I have one video talking about the accommodation also, but it's more to get myself accustomed to their culture, see whether it's a good fit in the research phase. So eventually, if that works out, then great. But if not, then it's okay. It's an experience also.
So you're looking to buy a house there already, lah?
No lah. Not yet. Research, not yet.
You're bringing the cash there.
Wow, not enough eh. You want sponsor?
So for the final question, is there any advice for people who are looking to live a life like yours? It's basically not a normal Singaporean life, but it's a bit off to the side, the kind of life where you choose what you want to do in your life lah.
I think it's more to evaluate your current situation. Whether can you afford to do it. So take for example, if you're starting out a family, then maybe not so possible because there are a lot of risks to this.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're an individual like me, no liabilities, just try. Really just try new things every day. It doesn't hurt to fail at times.
Okay.
You always can learn from the mistakes that you make. And then, who knows, like us, one day the things that you try will actually turn out to be. successful.
Mm.
And alternative lifestyle is different from the rest. You gotta accept that a lot of people will think like, why this person is so different?
Is it more relaxed or more tough?
I think it's tougher.
Tougher.
As compared to just going through the routine of working 9 to 6, then rinse and repeat, then enjoy
Okay.
your weekends only. I think that's more like mundane.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But it's more satisfying.
Mm.
I think we are at the end of the interview. With that being said, do check out her videos because she'll be covering a lot more on Juju, on Trustcard and YouTube Card. So do check it out. I'll put it down below. With that being said, bye!